How's it going, YouTube? Hope everything's going well with everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day in paradise. It is gorgeous here in central Georgia. Wind's blowing a little, sun's out. It's about 82 degrees right now, and really enjoying it. But got a quick video I want to do on people dealing with people, and I don't know what I expect when I deal with people. Recently we went on a road trip for some new equipment, and I was really excited about this. We picked up a new surface grinder, and I picked up a new lathe. So this would have been my third lathe, and called the people before I drove all the way up to get it, and I had paid for it already through an auction company. But I talked to them before I even bid on it, and I said, hey, tell me about this. And I asked, you know, what's the distance of the bed between the centers? Centers means between the chuck that spins around and holds the work and the tail or the end piece that holds the other end of the work. So that's from center to center. And I was looking for a lathe that was around 8 foot in between centers, and the guy told me, oh, it's 10 foot. Bigger than what I wanted, but cool. I can work with that. It still met the needs that I had. So then I asked him what the swing was. Swing, for those of y'all that don't know, the swing on a lathe is from the center of the chuck to the top of the bed. So whatever that distance is, you can handle a piece just about twice that. So if it's a 10-inch swing, that means you can just about handle a 20-inch piece of work. So he came back and told me that the swing was 10 inches. So 10 foot between centers, 10-inch swing, that's a massive lathe. But it was what I wanted for the work that I was looking at trying to do. Wanted to do some work balancing, making drive shafts and making axles and things like that, and so it would have been really cool to have a lathe that big. Won the auction and everything's great. Went to go get the piece and picked up the first piece, which was the surface grinder. It was everything they said it was. It was really good unit. Really happy with it. Drove another hour and a half to 2 hours to get the second piece, and that's when disappointment hit. So let me show you what I found. Alright, so this is the lathe. It's sitting on a trailer that the deck is 18 feet long. So as you can see, if the trailer is 18 foot long, you've got about 3 foot there, and I don't know, about 5 foot there maybe. So this lathe that is supposed to be 10 foot from the center of the chuck to, there should be a tailstock, it's actually right there, that would fit there. So the center of that to the center of the chuck I was told was 10 foot. It's not. The overall length from the end of the lathe to this belt cover right here is 10 foot. So that was the first upset. Second upset is when I got to look at the chuck. That's a 10-inch chuck. It's not a 20-inch swing, which on a 10-foot lathe, the 20-inch swing would be dangerous anyway. Probably wouldn't be able to turn it, so that's a disappointment. Well, then I got to looking closer, and I knew it was in rough shape, but there's some damage in the housing. You come down, levers are broken off there and right there. When you turn the carriage, let's see if I can get it to turn. you can kind of, it slips, so it's tight, and then it spins real quick. You can see this handle is actually pushed, the top of it's pushed back that way, and then this handle should be sticking out kind of like that. It's bent back under, and then this lever right here should engage the lathe and turn it on, but it's flopping. The reason it's flopping is because the casing right here is actually broke, and so this rod is not engaging the motor the way it's supposed to. And then the final is right here. There's a crack in the carriage right there. So turns out that I believe they hit it with a piece of equipment or backed a forklift into it or something like that, and it's a non-working piece of equipment. I don't have time to fix it. I'm not going to, because it's not what I was advertised as buying. So I've talked to some people about it and thought that I'd done my due diligence, thought that I had checked everything out very well, made sure that what I thought I was getting was actually what I was getting. And a couple of mistakes I made. One, I trusted that the person I was talking to knew what they were talking about. You kind of got to trust people, but you hope that they're telling you the truth. In this case, I don't know if the person straight out lied to me or just misled me. So that's one thing. The other issue, I actually called them and talked with them. After talking with the auction company, because I was very frustrated at what I'd bought, and was going to try to get my money back, and was going to refuse the lathe, was going to try to get my money back. And I called the auction company, and because the information that the guy told me was not listed in the auction, and everything he did list in the auction was true and valid, I can't say he falsely advertised the lathe. So, second thing, when you're dealing with someone through an auction, make sure everything's in writing and either on the ad or in email. The auction company told me if I had gotten it in email, then I could have at least had a leg to stand on, could have got my money back. So, a little frustrated that I spent an entire day driving to get this piece of equipment, spent the money on the fuel, which is outrageous right now. Ruby's got a 35-gallon tank. Pulling a trailer, she gets about 17 miles to the gallon. So, sorry about that. So, that's frustrating. Plus, the cost of purchasing the lathe itself. Was really excited. It was an older lathe. It was probably around the 1940s. It was by a company called Bradford, and it's got a lot of the old Art Deco labelings and operation gears and structure, and I really like that. Was really hoping it was what it was advertised. It wasn't. So the blessing with this is I found someone who actually needs this machine, and so the gentleman came down yesterday. He walked through it, looked at it. I pointed everything out that I just pointed out to y'all. I'm not going to hide something from somebody. I'm not going to tell them it's something it is and it's not. So I told him everything I just told y'all, and the gentleman was really excited about it. He really wants it, and he paid me on the spot. I'm going to deliver it to him this weekend, and hopefully he'll be able to get it up and running or use the parts to fix another lathe that he's got. So at least that came out well. I got my money back for the lathe. Still lost a lot of time, but you know, I learned a lesson, and I wanted to pass that on to y'all. Trust people as much as you can, but as my grandfather used to say, trust but verify. Thought I was doing my best to verify like I should have. It kind of bit me. Unfortunately, with auctions, that happens sometimes. So, like I said, do your due diligence, do the best you can, make sure everything's in writing to protect yourself. But you can get some great deals at auctions. This one wasn't. The other piece of equipment I got was, and it will go into service soon and really do a lot of good for my company. So, anyway, I think I'm going to go watch a softball game and enjoy the rest of the evening. I hope y'all are having a blessed day, and hope you get to have another day in paradise. Talk to you soon.